Chapter 7.5 Neurolink. Yana and Janice connected their ship's comm links, and Janice's voice came through like an old radio. The speaker was blown out and busted, and Yana's ship was an old junker, but the Razor Rat was her junker. Yana glazed past its cracked screen, twisted its analog knobs, flicked the switch, and ignited her thrusters. The engine screamed, and Anna saddled up beside Yana. She clicked in her seatbelt, looked at her sister with dilated, wide doe eyes, and shook in her seat with excitement. "All right, timers and thrusters syncing." Yana nodded to Anna, and Anna did her grease monkey thing. She peeled back a panel, connected two exposed wires, and with an electric shock, a blue light pulsed on the dash. It synced with Janice's skiff. The light blinked red, and Yana prepared to launch. 3, 2, 1. Their thrusters ignited. Both skiffs launched forward, scorching the earth beneath them, and blasted off. They shot out from their enclave hidden between the skyscrapers, entered the common airspace, and piloted in the opposite direction of fast, incoming traffic. It was like watching an oncoming volley of arrows, the bullets of a firing squad, and a shotgun blast at point blank. Death was only mere inches, mere milliseconds away at any point. Yana grit her teeth, clenched her yoke, and never felt more alive than in moments like this. She was in her element. She loved the horns blaring and fading away, the trailing neon lights, the blurred passing signs. She loved the rush of adrenaline that raced up her spine to her neck, and the way her nerves felt electrified. This was it. This was all she wanted. The adrenaline coursing through her veins, and her sister sitting beside her. The first drift approached fast, and Janice was catching up. His skiff was neck to neck. She saw him in the corner of her eyes, saw the ship's lights change, and it turned from pale red to a soft blue as he took the turn slowly and under control. "What's the matter, Janice? Already falling behind?" She loved trash talking. She loved anything that kept the adrenaline alive. "I'm not falling behind," he yelled, and his ship's lights pulsed as he screamed. His thrusters exploded with anger, and his ship shot forward. Janice whipped around the bend, fishtailed out of control, and slammed into another passing skiff. Easy, Yana thought. She realized the double-edged sword his Neuralink could be. Sure, he could control his ship with his emotions, but could he control his emotions? But Janice was no longer the problem. The problem was the skiff he crashed into. Its side was ripped apart, the paint tore off, and the bare metal was exposed. The pilot was not happy. They pivoted, looped around, and quickly pursued Janice before him and Yana could split. Damn it, Janice, Yana thought. That better not be stars. It was. It must have been. The pure black skiff pivoted on a dime, thrusted to give chase, and followed them like no normal pedestrian ship would. Shit! Beating Janice was easy. Losing stars wasn't too bad, but beating Janice, losing stars, and making sure he wasn't caught so she could collect her payout would be difficult. Yana squeezed her grips and grit her teeth. I can't let this idiot get caught. She felt an adrenaline surge, so I might as well have fun with it. You ready, Anna? Anna clapped her hands. Yana spun her ship 180 degrees, and Anna flicked two switches. The Razor Rat's thrusters tilted, pointed forward, and Yana piloted backwards. She flew in reverse, saddled up beside Janice, and mocked him, eye to eye. Come on, Janice. Isn't this supposed to be a race? You're embarrassing me. Stars was in hot pursuit, and Janice couldn't help but get hot-headed. There you go, Yana thought. Let's see you get heated. Ugh! Janice screamed over the comms. His ship glowed bright red, and his engine exploded with fury. A trail of exhaust and smoke billowed behind him, blinding the star skiff, and Janice shot forward on a collision course with Yana. She twisted her skiff into a roll, spun underneath Janice's ship, and flew beneath his skiff upside down. She kept goading him. I could do this in my sleep. A hailstorm of traffic came towards them. Yana spun away. Janice dodged a near collision, and in weaving between the oncoming traffic, Yana narrowly took the lead. She quickly turned back, saw Janice on her tail, and saw they lost stars in the commotion and smoke. Perfect, Yana thought as they neared the edge of the outer reach. The last of the skyscrapers came to an end. Yana and Janice dove their skiffs to the ground and weaved between the junkyards and shanty towns at the end of civilization. Yana almost skimmed the street, sending a gush of wind and pedestrians off their feet. Anna killed the engine. Yana drifted onto an abandoned road, and she stopped on a dime, right where she and Janice agreed. The same could not be said for Janice. His engine still roared with burning, red-hot rage, and flames billowed out the sides as he overshot the finish line and streamed straight past Yana. She won, and she won handily. The adrenaline was still pulsing through her veins, and Yana was panting like a feral animal overtaken by the hunt. Her eyes were wide, the sweat dripped from her brow, and she beamed with a devilish smile. She lived for this. As she reveled in the final moments of her adrenaline-fueled ecstasy, Anna tapped her sister on the shoulder and pointed to Janice returning from the edge of the horizon. Yana slowed her breath, using the breathing technique she was supposed to do every day, and pulled her picture of Sydney Starshot from her bra. She looked at it, kissed it, and closed her eyes. "Thank you," she said, got out of her skiff, and waited for Janice to land. She leaned against the razor rat, waiting and watching, until she heard a voice approach from behind her. "Say, that was some wild flying," he said. Yana looked behind her and saw Sydney Starshot walking towards her. Yana shook her head and knew what this was. Another one of her fantasies. This was the first time she dreamed of Sydney noticing her flying and drumming up conversation. "Yeah, thanks, Sydney. You impressed me. A lot. Maybe I could get a race with you?" Yana smiled and feigned self-deprecation. "Oh, you wouldn't want to race with a no-name like me." "No, I really would like to." He came closer and smiled. She noticed his chest rise and fall with each breath, his bright white smile, and the heat radiate off his skin. "What's your name?" he said, and raised out his hand. "Oh, you know me. I'm Yana Nagaska," she said, gripped his hand, and felt its warmth. Oh my God, Yana realized. This is real. She looked past him and couldn't believe that in her adrenaline-fueled craze, she didn't notice the skiff chasing behind them wasn't stars. It was Sydney Starshot's. Oh. Like a fangirl, Yana was internally screaming. She was beet red in the face, and Anna clapped with excitement. 1, because she knew Yana was living her dream, and 2, because Janice finally corrected course, turned back around, and was landing with the Neuralink prize that she was promised. Sydney chuckled when he noticed Anna excited beside Yana. "Who's this?" Yana attempted to feign cool, collected confidence. "Oh, this is my sister, Anna." "Anna?" "Twin sister, actually," Yana said, but felt self-conscious talking too much. "She's nonverbal, though." "Oh. She has a genetic condition called, She forgot. She forgot her own sister's diagnosis. "Are you that shitty of a sister, Yana? You can't even remember your own sister's condition?" She shooed away the self-deprecation and kept talking. "It, makes her nonverbal." She already said that, but couldn't think straight with Sydney in front of her. "She's a genius with tech, though." "Well," Sydney said and offered his hand to Anna. "Well," Sydney said and offered his hand to Anna. "It's nice to meet you, Anna. I'm Sydney." Anna hopped up and down on 2 feet, grabbed his hand with both hands, and smiled. Sydney loved how excited she got. Janice landed, and as he did, Anna excitedly ran to his driver's side. Janice ripped off his Neuralink, got out of the driver's seat, and hung his head low as he left the door open for Anna to play. He took a deep breath, slouched over with rounded shoulders, and dug his hands deep into his pockets as he walked towards Yana. He was so disappointed, and his head hung so low, he didn't even notice Sydney. "All right. Fair's fair. You won." "What do you have here?" Sydney said and followed behind Anna with curiosity. Janice didn't remember any men around. He looked up, saw Sydney, and did a double take in shock. "Sydney Starshot?" Sydney raised a finger to his lips and shushed Janice so he wouldn't scream his name any louder. Keep this between us, all right? Sydney watched Anna tinker with the Neuralink with daft hands. She removed it from Janice's ship, dragged it over to the Razor Rat, unlatched a hidden panel beneath the dash, and got to work connecting it. Sydney turned to Yana with curiosity. What's she doing? Oh, she's installing the... Before Yana could finish, the Razor Rat emanated with glowing white light. Neuralink. Sydney was impressed. Interesting. Well, do you want to give it a test run? Me? Yana couldn't believe this. The real Sydney Starshot, in front of her, asking to race against her. This was a dream come true. She didn't even care if this was only a dream. This was the best damn dream she ever had. Absolutely. Race to my place? He said, and before Yana could ask where his place was, he tapped his link to hers. She looked at the screen on her wrist and saw he put in his address and his link number. She had Sydney's number. What is happening? See you there. He gave her a smile and a wink, strolled back to his skiff, and the domed glass cockpit opened on its hinge as he hopped inside. Yana closed her eyes tight and opened them again, reaffirming that this was indeed reality. She heard her sister clap behind her, and when she turned around, Anna already had the Neuralink connected to the Razor Rat. Yana smiled to herself, excited at the opportunity in front of her, and she ran back to her skiff. She vaulted over its front nose, slid on the hood, and grabbed the open frame of the door to swing herself inside. In the passenger seat, Anna offered a trio of wires with sharp prongs at the end that would connect the ship to... Yana. I don't have that connection like Janice, she said. Anna grabbed Yana by the hand and turned it over, tapping on the inside of Yana's wrist. She brought the 3 pronged wires to Yana's skin, and 3 small electric needles shot out. Oh, no, Anna, I don't like needles, she said, closing her eyes and squirming. I don't like... As she said it, she cracked open her eye and saw the Neuralink was already buried beneath her skin. Oh. Okay. This is kind of exciting. Yana looked out her windshield and saw Sydney rev his engine. She felt a giddy energy course through her, and the Neuralink responded. Her ship glowed with yellow, crackling energy that mirrored her excitement. Wait, did we always have those lights? She asked, but before Anna could answer, Sydney chimed in over the comms channel. Whoa, looking good. I'm excited to see how you fly with that. Yana closed her eyes and felt the wind cross over the curves of her skiff's wings. As she engaged her vertical thrusters and rose off the ground, she closed her eyes and felt the ship within her own body. She felt its left wing in her left arm, its right tail in her right leg, the breeze against the nose as if it blew against her face, and the roaring thrusters in her burning heart. How's it feeling? Sydney asked. Amazing. All right then. Shall we? Sydney initiated the countdown, and before it finished, her thrusters prematurely fired off. She couldn't contain her excitement, and the Neuralink was too honest. Whoa! Sydney blasted off, followed behind her draft, and quickly sliced the air to catch up to her. Sorry, I'm just trying to... The ship was too responsive. She was used to sweeping her arms around, pulling levers, and flipping switches to get her ship to bend to her beck and call. Now a single thought threw her for a loop. She did her breathing exercise, and Sydney heard it over the comms. What are you doing? She felt embarrassed, and her ship turned a faded pink color as her thrusters dwindled to a near stall. I want to see you fly wild like before. Let it out. Oh. Her ship radiated red. All right, then. It glowed brighter and brighter, and she shot ahead. She whipped past Sydney's ship, and she heard him snicker over the comms. That's what I like to see. But can you keep up with me? He accelerated forward, flipped over 180 degrees, and flew upside down. He pressed the bottom of his ship to the bottom of Yana's, and in a strange twist, barrel rolled, turning her ship over and forcing her to fly upside down instead. He detached and passed her, weaving and threading through the heavy commotion and rising skyscrapers of the outer reach. Oh, no, you don't. She felt the adrenaline course through her heart, fueling her raging engine, and the Razor Rat flew faster than it ever had before. Yana turned into a straightaway and saw Sydney in the distance, darting towards a gleaming blue glass skyscraper lined with pink lights. Her engines fired forward, catching her up to Sydney, closer and closer. She narrowly dodged passenger ships, feeling her skiff graze against their sides as she closed in on them. Her skiff glowed red, bright red, and she felt her vision tunnel in. The ships beside her eclipsed by her emotion, the only sight Sydney's ship. And then she felt Anna. She felt Anna's touch, pulling her back to reality. She grabbed at Yana's shoulder, shaking her, and when Yana came back to reality, she saw the tears streaming down Anna's face. The way she piloted, and the way she'd lost herself, scared Anna. For the first time, Anna, who always loved flying with Yana, was scared. "Sorry, Anna. Sorry," Yana whispered, not realizing how uncontrolled she flew. Yana took a deep breath, calming herself down and feeling the cooling sweat on her brow from the adrenaline release. She looked out and saw Sydney fly directly downward into a hidden metallic tunnel that opened for his ship. Yana followed close behind, diving down, and the metal doors shut behind her. "Welcome to my home," Sydney said over the comms, and bright white lights turned on, lining the large, bored tunnel that led to the underside of Sydney's mansion. He was waiting at a landing pad, leaning triumphantly against his ship. "I'll beat you next time," she teased as she landed beside his ship, opened up her door, and got out. "Oh, maybe when we race to your place," he said with a smile. "Oh, no," Yana interrupted. "You wouldn't want to race to my place." The only place she had was the seat she sat in. Her and Anna had been living out of their skiff for way too long. "My place is a mess. Nowhere near as nice as yours." He chuckled. "Sure, no problem. How about you come in then?" Oh, she blushed. "Yeah, that'd be great. But what about Anna?" Yana turned around, and Anna was laser focused on studying the Neuralink. "I think she'll be okay," Sydney said, smiling and leading Yana into his home, for the first, but not last, night. "Okay," Yana said. "Hey, real quick, do you think I could get a picture with you?" "Of course." He wrapped his confident arm around her and flicked out his link for a selfie. "We have to remember our first race together, don't we?" Sydney took the photo, and as Retta relived Yana's memories inside her mind, she realized that selfie was the same photo that Retta found, still inside Sydney's skiff.